Hi, baddies. Welcome to Auntie Amy's Trashy Tarot. I am so excited to have all of you in today, welcome you into my home, and I hope all of you are doing well and taking care of yourself. If this is your first time here, welcome in, welcome in. I hope you will enjoy your stay and stick around. If you're a returning subscriber or a member, it is wonderful to connect with your energy again, and I truly appreciate all of your support, your likes, your comments, your donations, all of it. I truly, truly appreciate it. So thank you. And today we're doing a pick a card. This is all about your most revolutionary past life. We're doing this today to help you connect to these powerful energies from your past life so you can see how it affects you today and perhaps use some of that energy to help you get through some of the obstacles and difficulties of your daily life. All right. So as you see before you, there are three cards. These are horror movies, and I have three pre-shuffles. I'll also be pulling more cards as I need to for clarity. All right. I will insert a video for those of you who need a bit more time to see which group you're drawn to. You can take a moment, take a deep breath, and meditate on which card you're drawn to. However, if you are drawn to more than one card, there may be more than one message here for you. Many times my picker cards are related. Okay, that happens quite often. All right, and with that said, I'll see you beautiful, magical baddies on the other side. Bye, guys.
Keep on building a dynasty while the haters be trying me, but they hate from inside. You see, hate themselves in society, so I let them speak quietly while my actions speak wider. See, they be hiding in privacy with the screen. Oh, the irony to hate someone who's trying to be whatever they would like to be. We all feel the anxiety, we make our own rivalries. Yo, so where is all the positivity? I feel like we all just hate on everything, it's killing me. Thoughts build quick, causing different possibilities. Negative thoughts will cause different disabilities, so do better. Work.
Hi, Group 1, all of you that selected Army of Darkness. This is your reading all about your most powerful past life. Keep in mind, this is a general reading, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. I'm going to make sure there's not a glare there. Okay. All right, so let's get the cards for you. Let's get them out. Let's start here. We have 2 cards. Yeah, we have 2 cards for you. We have Damsel and Detective. Okay. I really want to know more. We have the Grim Fear. We have the Two of Fire. The Four of Air. And the Three of Air. Monk or Nun. Forgiveness. And Angels. Okay. We have Clouds, Ring, Child. We have Genius and Loyalty over Treason and Revolt. So there is a lot of really positive energy in your group. I will say you had a very strong loyalty. It feels like to a monarch. It feels like you fought for them. this, and we have monk or nun here, so you could have fought for the church, um, or a monarch, a royal person who was heavily affiliated with a church, with a church. Um, I feel I'm seeing a signet ring, okay? Um, and I'm feeling this energy about you that is very angelic, okay? Um, very profoundly powerful, okay? Um, I feel like you came into this life here to help people fight off negativity, um, and corruption. And you actually manifested right in the middle of it. And I feel like this was very difficult, because you entered it feels like a monastery, um, so a church type. So some of you, I don't understand all of this exactly. This happened a very long time ago, medieval, dark ages kind of vibe here, and I'm feeling like Spain. I'm feeling like all along. I'm seeing like a hand sweep, a sweep from what I know of England, up. It's reaching up past England. Okay, so all the way, okay, into the Mediterranean and around into Egypt, okay, and around into Morocco. So this is where we're focused as far as this group is, okay? So these countries, um, these areas. So I feel that you were very loyal, and you were a fighter, okay? A defender, some of you defender of the faith, and you wore a signet ring, that signified this. Okay, I'm seeing a broadsword. It's extremely heavy. Some of you guys wore very heavy armor. You may have been knights. Some of you guys were attached to a monarch. I'm seeing a king here. Okay, so you had this extremely angelic energy, um, and you really believed in fighting for good. You went through a monastery and developed really powerful, otherworldly type energies by having um, these powerful gnosis type experiences. I believe that during your studies, you actually got involved with an inner order within this church, and the inner order taught you some things. Now, I'm being guided to tell you, and I haven't pulled it, so I don't even know, that group 3 may have something for you. The inner order taught you some truth, okay? This inspired you to see the truth of the corruption around you. Okay. And this is what you came into that life to do. And I'm hearing quiet revolution. Revolution undertones of revolutionary energy, finding truth, about the corruption you saw. Um, and I feel like you were scary to people. You were so courageous, and the feats that you did, it's almost like you were a double agent. You were extremely brave in what you did, and you were somewhat fearless because you believed so intensely in what the mission was. And the mission was to overcome the obstacles that um, the enemy placed in front of you as far as like overcoming. For some of you, you were working to overcome a king. You were a double agent and you were working to overcome a corrupt king. Um, and for some of you, the king was crazy. The king had syphilis or some kind of disease that was affecting his brain. Um, but you couldn't, even though he was very not, now this is not all of you. For some of you, they had a drinking problem. Um, it's different for different ones of you. And for some of you, this is, this may not resonate, but even though there were issues with this, you still couldn't like overcome the king. You still couldn't take the king down. He was still the king. Okay. It's not like they wrote procedures for this. Okay. It's not expected. So there was this energy of overcoming a corrupt person of power. For some of you, it was a person of power. Okay. But there is this energy of overcoming. And the thing is that in this life, you met someone, okay? A beautiful, true love, okay? And it feels very, very important and intense, okay? And I feel like, okay, let's pull some cards here because I feel my feelings is like it was super intense and super secret, super serial, y'all. It's super serial because of your position and their position. It's not like y'all could openly prance around like yeah, okay. It just and I'm seeing like French aristocracy as well. So tell me more about this damsel and the detective. And there's a child here. So tell me more about this. The bottom one. The Two of Pentacles. With the Two of Fire and the Two of Pentacles, that's 22. That's a master number. Okay, so we have master number 22 presenting. So this feels like this is not a karmic relationship. Okay, this is soul deep. Okay, I feel like they could have also been, well, kind of a spy, kind of like you were, double agent kind of thing, helping with this revolution. Okay, helping with this overturning of a king. I'm feeling this one, these two as well. I have to look at them to make sure that they are okay for you to see. We have the Ten of Swords and the Four of Pentacles here. Okay. All right. So this Ten of Swords is such a powerful Ten of Swords here. This relationship, like you could not be seen together. I feel like part of what happened is you were seen together. You were discovered. Tell me about this relationship. Tell me more about the relationship. We have the Prince of Wands here. And the bottom one. We have the Three of Swords. It was absolute heartbreak. I feel something about the child. Tell me about the child. It was never born. It was never born. The King of Wands. It was never born. That's what I'm hearing. The Chariot. It was never born. So there was a passing here. And you can just kind of fill in the blank on that one, okay? We're going to just let that lie. But there was heartbreak here. Deep heartbreak. Um, I think to the point where the damsel, the true, like this feels like true love. Um, I feel her energy disappear. She disappears. Just dis-a-fucking peers. Okay, I'm a little, what happened? Sorry if I shook the camera. What happened with the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords? So she disappears. Where does she go? We have the Nine of Wands and the Three of Wands. She had to move on. She couldn't face it. The devil. It feels like there was pressure for her to just leave and move on, and there was no sense in seeing you again. There was no sense in dragging it out. Uh, just move on. I feel like this child that was never born, um, perhaps there was an issue with the birth, and I feel like the trauma of that caused this as well. I think there was a lot of anger because I think you were dedicated to the cause. I think in the end you chose the cause over this true love. And because of that, this important soulmate went away. And you felt it energetically. And it feels like it changed you. The loss of this changed you. And it feels like with the Army of Darkness card, you got more aggressive. It brought out your more aggressive tones. It made you more vicious when you went after this situation. It feels like the king, the court, eventually had an overturning. And for some of you, it was good. For some of you, it was very bad. Because some of you were found to be, traitors. And not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Let's get into some more energy here. But the loss of this, it feels like for some of you who went to prison awaiting your sentencing, basically awaiting the chopping block, so to speak, there was a lot of time to kind of meditate. I feel like you were at peace with your choices. You didn't regret them because you knew your choices led to the new energy coming in, right? It may not have been perfect, but it was better than it was. Some of you didn't end up in prison. You ended up leading a guard and became more trusted. It just depended, okay, on, there seems to be two different timelines here. Either way, there was a lot of thinking about the damsel, thinking about what could have been, and how where you're sitting doesn't feel as fulfilling. Well, sitting in prison wouldn't feel fulfilling, but you know what I'm saying. There is a hollowness in this life. You were absolutely revolutionary. You absolutely lived and helped others. Absolutely. You have this angelic, powerful energy. But in some ways, you denied yourself a human experience of being able to joyfully interact in a loving relationship. And part of your soul acknowledged that. You tell me more. We have the Muse. Oh, how you miss them. How you miss them. For some of you, you have this person in your life right now. Okay, the Muse. For some of you, you're attracting this person. Okay. And some of you had this person and you once again let them go. Any way you slice it, this energy, this Muse energy is, you can't deny this. When you feel a Muse, it will change your life. Okay? This energy changes your life. It changed this past life. Once you feel the Muse energy, once you feel this, and then you lose it, it is a loss like no other. Because this energy brings joy, and I feel that here. There was a lot of joy with this person. There's a lot of laughter. This person would listen. They were loyal. They were down for the mission, and there was hurt here. There was the Muse. I'm getting into the Akashic records here. The Muse, the damsel, felt very betrayed because in the end they felt you were more loyal to the cause than them. And they would have sold everything out for you in the end because they were loyal to you. Because they felt that you were their soulmate. You were their match. And they thought together you were fighting the cause. They didn't feel that it was a separate thing. And it's beautiful energy. Like the love here is so true. The Muse, she can laugh and be flirty, and it's feminine energy. It doesn't mean a feminine vessel, okay? She can laugh and be flirty. She can be happy and joyful. She's silly. She's insightful. She makes you think. She's beautiful, but she also can be quite strange. She's inspiring as fuck. And the thing is that she brings change in a beautiful way. She makes you want to change. She makes you want to do things that cause change. Okay, we have up in the air. And there it is, just floating away. This energy. Look how this energy is circling around like this couple. That's interesting. Some of you that are in a couple situation, it almost feels like a memory or a feeling that has been there the whole time, okay? Some of you are not aware of how deep your soul connection is, or when you meet this person, there's some kind of energy going to come in and help you remember this deep soul tie, okay? It's there, all right? And it's coming in. That's how I feel. I'm reading this empathically, like psychically, and it's going to feel like Muse energy. It's going to feel like delightful energy. You may feel enchanted even by this energy, okay? And if you already got that, then you know, okay? All right, tell me more about this. The Master Artisan. This energy balances you out in this life today, okay? She comes forward, it's feminine energy, to help you create, okay? The life you want to have, to help you inspire. She inspires you to create, to be creative. Some of you have this same very strong angelic energy. And it feels like your revolutionary act in this life is a bit different. You're meant to channel some of this, perhaps aggression, this fighter energy, into your creativity. Because art can be loud. Art can speak volumes. And people can unite in consciousness through art. Okay, we have Views of the Ego and Oracle of Delphi. It feels like a very intense connection in this past life. You felt it. And I feel like you felt it in this past life so deeply that it scared you. And at the time, it was easier to lean into the cause than to lean into something that made you uncomfortable like this. Because she was an activator. She made you think. And there were other things going on as well. She made you question your brotherhood. She made you question other things. And in the end, your loyalty lied with your oath. And that choice left a mark because no one was ever like her. So in this life, when you meet this energy, you may have it in your life now. No one you'll know because no one you have ever met is like this person. They are completely different from anyone else. They are so special and unique. And when you meet them, you're both drawn to each other like magnets. And it's easy. It's fun. It doesn't mean you don't grow. You still grow. But the growth of each other doesn't destroy each other. Okay? You can support one another. It's not toxic. It's a whole new way to have a relationship. And it supports growth on both sides. You're meant to express revolutionary thought through your art, your creativity in this life. You're meant to connect with your spirit, your guides, your creative mind, your gifts, your abilities, and bring it through. Because you were a revolutionary in a past life that absolutely was vital to overturning a corrupt monarchy. And it feels like you still have this fight and you may not know what to do with it. And in this life, your talent is different. You probably were Aries in this past life, Aries or Taurus or Leo, maybe a mixture of those. And so in this life, I'm feeling that you may be like a water sign. You may be a Cancer, Pisces, or a Scorpio. You're very creative. You're highly gifted. Okay. There may be some Sagittarius in there. We may have some Leo energy too. air sign energy, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. So it's all over the place. All right. So just take what resonates there. Um, but it feels like in this life, there's more balance. Like there's more of a focus of balance, balancing your need to be a voice and the need to have fulfilling relationships. Okay. That's more the focus here in this life. It feels like in the other life, you were meant to experience the fulfillment of, this strong fist force, okay, and overcoming and the consequences thereof, and the loss of not being in balance and losing a major soulmate, okay? What I call a twin flame, I don't like that label, okay? I don't like it. I think it can be very toxic. But if you want to put a label like that on it, I guess it would be. If it was a twin flame, I would say it's a divine counterpart, which is someone who's evolved past like the toxicity. It's definitely an important soulmate, okay? And they're coming back around in this life, and you will recognize them. You may choose, or if you choose to ignore them in this life, then you do. And this pathway here, it may be closed, and the Akashic will open up another pathway for you that may look very, very different. And that's your choice because you have free will. All right. Yeah, so that's what I got for you. That's what I received for you, Group 1. I really enjoyed doing this reading. I hope you enjoyed it too. If you did, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I would love to have you as a member of my tribe. That would be so wonderful. And if you'd like to see more readings like this one, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you beautiful, magical baddies on the other side. Bye, guys. Hey, Group 2, all of you that selected Carrie. This is going to be your reading all about your most revolutionary past life. Keep in mind, this is a general reading, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, let's get these cards first. Not those yet. Let's see, we have Companion. Okay. We have Knight. We have Child Orphan. All right. Sorry if I'm shaking the camera. Let's see. Let's do these cards right here. We have Wars and Battles, Egypt, Native American. Let's do these other bigger cards. We have Strength, we have the Four of Water, the Two of Earth, the Two of Fire, and the, looks like, Four of Water. No, this is the three of water. Three of water. Okay. I was like, no, it's the Four of water. This is the Five of water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's the Five of water. Okay. Sorry. These cards are confusing sometimes. And let's see. We have fruition and the realization of dreams over forgetfulness and the release of unpleasant thoughts. Okay, and then we have these little cards. You've got quite a few of these. We have Ship. We have Unexpected Money. We have Sorrow. We have marriage. We have mountains. And we have high honors. Then we have combination. Okay, I feel like maybe, well, no, combination. We'll just put that there. Okay, so first of all, I feel a very unique person with this Carrie card. Very unique. I feel like you were abandoned in this life. I feel like you really didn't have family. And I feel like you could be a indigenous person, okay? And you could have been abandoned because of a war, all right, of some kind. You may have also been Egyptian as well, okay? But I feel like you definitely felt alone, and you had to grow up really fast, okay? And I feel like in this life, you, I feel like you met someone who had very high honors, okay? They were, I don't know exactly if they were a knight, but I feel like they were in the military and had high honors, okay? And they were of a different culture than you, okay? And I feel like them meeting you was kind of like a weird a weird thing. Um what's revolutionary about you is you came from nothing, okay? And you married someone who had high honors in the military, okay, which is unbelievable at the time, all right? It's unbelievable that this would happen, but it did, okay? And, it feels like this took place in different places in the world, okay? So I'm seeing different places. And for some of you, you had to learn a new language, okay? I feel like this connection took you on a trip, on a ship. You sailed across the ocean to new lands, okay? And you saw things that you never thought you would ever see. I feel like you went into the mountains. Some of you had never really experienced that kind of cold before. I feel like you learned a lot. And you saw, I feel like, colonization going on and the wars and battles fought against the indigenous people there. And I feel like you were a voice of like people, of indigenous people. And I feel for some of you, like you split back off somehow, like you disengage from being like with your husband, uh, like invading to you. You were like, no, I don't want to be a part of, um, I don't want to be a part of like invading and doing this to people because you were seeing, I feel like he hid a lot of what was going on from you. I don't think he hid it from you to be horrible. I think he hid it from you because because of sensitivities. That's what I'm hearing, sensitivities. But I feel like you tried to be a voice for the people who were oppressed. And it really took a toll on this relationship. And I feel like in the end, it was almost like, well, I'm feeling like you stayed with like the other people, like a tribe or a group of people, and he left you there. So you made a revolutionary choice to move to a whole new group of people and stay there. Um, and it may be that you were raised in an Egyptian family um, overseas, and you came and stayed in some in, indigenous tribe. And it can be anywhere in the world, is what I'm hearing. Like I'm seeing Africa, I'm seeing India, I'm seeing South America, Latin America, I'm seeing America, I'm seeing islands, I'm seeing like Polynesia. So I'm seeing different places in the world, okay? Um, and I feel like you are a person of the earth. You aren't afraid to like lose everything and start over. And although you cared for this person, their status never impressed you. It was something at a soul level because they saw you. But in the end, they had a job to do. And they thought that they were doing the right thing, that they were bringing, I say this with civilization to people. Sorry, my camera moved. And the truth is, um, that's bullshit. Okay. And you knew that, and you couldn't sit by and allow it. And in the beginning, you had some pull because of who you were. And this person may have been a commander of an outpost or something like that. Like, I don't know what else to call it, like a fort or a camp or something. Um, and I'm seeing like Africa. I'm seeing like all these different places. I'm seeing like India and yeah. Wow. It feels like and then problems arose. People with bigger titles came in and your power diminished. And it seems like when that happened, you begin to splinter off. And it's almost like you fell out of love with this person because in the end you saw that they would have done that to your own people, and probably they did. And you saw that you married the problem, and you knew that you couldn't go back to your people, so you stayed with these people. And I feel like for some of you, when you made this choice, I feel like when you told this person, it did not go well. And some of you literally had physical scars left on you because this person put them there. And in this life, some of you guys may have like weird birthmarks. I'm seeing like on arms, like on your forearm, like a weird birthmark, or perhaps like I'm seeing like on like your back or your shoulder, something like that, like a weird birthmark. It may not be for all of you, but I feel like being caught by something that's hot, feeling like something's hot, and it feels like the upper body, like the arms, the back, the chest. So you may have weird birthmarks in that area. Um, I feel like this person had a hard time letting go, and when you were able to get away, I feel like the people that you went to, they took care of you because they loved you and cared for you. And I feel like this tribe of people, this town of people, uh, were your soul family. Okay, they're your people. And you knew that in that lifetime. You went from being an orphan child to being with your family in that life. So, it was a tough life, but you found your sense of home with this tribe of it feels indigenous people, but it could be like town people or people who had been forcibly moved there or something like that, because it feels like it could be a little bit more complicated um, for some of you. Okay, so let's get some of these cards here. This is the Akashic Tarot. So sorry if I'm shaking the camera. All right, oops, I didn't shuffle very well. Tell me more about my group 2. Tell me more. There is this revolutionary act of being fearless when engaging with people from other places, like supporting people from other places, being a kind of an outcast yourself to a degree, and embracing other people who are outcasted, understanding what that feels like, and understanding that really we aren't the outcasts, that the people who are being cookie cutters are the outcasts, because that's not normal. It's not a normal state to be like that. So, okay, tell me about this group here. No reversals. We have clearing the way. Tell me more. We have the War of the Roses. You saw a lot of war in this past life. And I feel like for some of you, you may be a Libra. You seek peace in your life, sometimes at any cost. All you want is peace. All you want is to be left alone. All you want is people to shut up. There are times when you're just like, leave me alone. Your soul is a bit war-torn because you've seen so much. You may in this life also have some abandonment issues that kind of moved into this life too. And you're longing for home, the Akashic field. You're longing for your tribe. You're longing for belonging. You may, even if you have a family, you may feel like, how is this my family? Am I adopted? Like, I don't feel like this is my family. I don't feel like, you may feel like you were born into like a completely opposite family of how you are. You don't relate to them. They don't relate to you. And part of you is kind of searching for home. You're searching for your people. You're searching for something. And the something is coming from this past life. It's these people. These people that you forsaken, that you basically turned on your husband, a happy, cushy life to a degree after what you've been through. It was a nice life. Okay, you were well provided for. You rejected that even after everything you went through. You were orphaned. You had nothing. You basically, you could say that you went into kind of a place where, it was luxurious. Even though you were traveling to these foreign places, you still had nice things. You had food, you had water, you had baths. You had soap from France. You had nice clothes. And you said no. No. No, I'm not. You can't buy me with comfort. Comfort my soul. Comfort my soul. That's group 2. Comfort my soul, my heart. I don't give a shit about toiletries and clothes and shoes and whatnots and books from overseas. You were so smart. Sorry, that's my chair. You were so smart. You learned languages. You taught others to speak your language, to understand it. It's incredible. You didn't really get anything for it, though. You know, that's the way it goes. They use, they destroy. But you got wise and you turned your back on all that. And in this life, I feel that similarly. Like you know, things don't impress you. If you can't go deep with someone, do you have Scorpio and Venus? Do you have Scorpio somewhere in your chart? If I can't go deep with you, I don't want to know you. I don't care about talking about the weather if we can't go deep. You may be an INFP or an INFJ or an INF something. I feel some introvert energy, and it may be because you have some abandonment issues. It may be hard to kind of get your energy, like grab it and get your attention. Oh, it's heavy, right? It's heavy. You know, it feels like this search, this longing for home is outside yourself. You're looking for these people. And really, they're not going to come to you from outside yourself. You have to go within. Go within your heart and start that healing. Carrie's heart, woo, it was broken. It was broken. And I feel that here. I feel the loss here. When you're abandoned over and over and life repeats that shit, boy, it is a scar. It's a tough scar. It's scar tissue all around your heart. And when good people accidentally trip that shit, woo, it's tough. It's really tough. So you have that here. And it's scary because part of you wants them to come in. You want your person, you want your people. But that scar tissue is it's just got your heart just around it, saying, but they're going to leave. They won't stay because they never do. Now, in this past life, you left. You left this person. Was it a sense of empowerment? Did you find your voice and say no? Yes, you did. Am I saying you should leave your situation now? No. But I am saying you need to find your voice. You need to find out what matters to you. You need to start working on that scar tissue around your heart chakra. Those abandonment things, you can't avoid those. It makes you tender-hearted. You're sensitive. Oh, well, you're always going to be. Oh, well. And the people that come into your life, you just have to tell them, I have abandonment issues. It makes me act freaky sometimes. And I'm working on it. And there you go. If you tell people you have abandonment issues, they know. And if they trigger it and you act freaky, you can say, hey, I'm sorry I'm acting freaky. You have to start being vulnerable to the people that matter to you. And that includes yourself. You have to start being aware. And when you start acting freaky, you know, getting freaked out, you have to say, oh, I'm freaking out. Why am I freaking out? Am I afraid such and such is going to leave? Well, they're not going to leave. Why am I being triggered? Why? Why is my heart chakra so afraid? Am I alone? Well, I've been alone this whole time and I've really been there for myself. You have to start giving yourself reasons to remove that scar tissue. Because I guarantee you, you've been more present and more bold and more brave in this life than you think you have. What all this work does is it turns on your heart light. It turns on your energy, where your tribe can start vibing with you and come forward to you, where your person, your people, they can fucking see you in the darkness, in this crazy reality we're in. That's why it's important. In this life, this past life here, revolutionary, because you turned on your heart light in this lifetime. You chose a more difficult road, even though you were given a road that really, yeah, you may have been traveling, but you traveled in luxury. You may have been living in foreign places, but you had everything you needed. And everything you needed was just a letter away. You never went hungry. Now, I don't see any children here. So I don't think you conceived. I have a feeling that you couldn't in this life, this past life. And it probably had to do with your war, the war you saw. And seeing a lot of war will absolutely, do stuff to your heart chakra. And I feel like that probably is why you couldn't have children in this past life. And in this life, you may have difficulty as well. It may have passed into this life, or you may not want to have kids, and that's valid in this world today, You may want to have children as well. There may be a child thing going on. But you were very strong. You're strong today. Your revolutionary act in this life is for you to turn on your heart light and magnetically draw your people towards you. Because those people will understand you and you will understand them. And, it may not be, my hand is stuck. It may not be like, 100 people. It may be 2 people. It may be 1 person. It may be 5 people. Okay. But it's the people that you're meant to have in this life at this time to help you. You're meant to heal yourself in this life. You're meant to have true connections in this life. You're meant to feel what you felt in this past life. It's a revolutionary act because you're not surrendering to the aloneness, to the isolation, that this reality wants to serve you. They want to serve you the abandonment again. They want you to relive it over and over. It feels like a repeating pattern. It's almost like your lifetimes are stuck in this. And so there's a lot of blockage in your heart chakra. But this lifetime heals it. But you have to let people in. And part of it is you have to be vulnerable. You have to say, I'm a little fucked up. And they'll say, hey, so am I. And together we'll be a little fucked up. And when I do freaky things, I'm going to tell you, when I get freaked out, I'm just going to say, hey, I'm freaked out. And they'll say, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I freaked you out. I didn't mean to. And they'll say, okay, well, I'm still a little freaked out, but all right. Because a lot of things are miscommunications. We think that people read our minds, literally. We think people understand all the complexity going on within us, and they don't. They don't know what's going on in your mind. You say one thing, but there's a whole universe of things going on within you, and the other person doesn't know. And when you have been abandoned, when you have had a lot of trauma, there is even more stuff going on, and the other person doesn't know. So you have to be vulnerable and you have to talk, you have to speak. And the more information they know, the more empathy and compassion they have. But you can't overflow your relationships with it. Your whole relationship can't be about that. So there's a balance there as well. But the first step is being vulnerable and saying, hey, blah, blah, blah. Just giving heads up, and seeing what happens. And let what happens happen. Instead of saying, no, I don't want any friends. I don't want any people. Community is most important right now. That's why this is coming up. Community is a revolutionary act in this day and age. It really is. And allowing it to happen around you, especially if you are withdrawn. The internet has really helped us kind of be isolated. And having community builds strength. It builds networks of real, actual people. And it can make a huge difference in communities. And it can make huge changes in the world, starting at that grassroots level. And I feel like you have a lot of things to say. Okay, we're going to get into this. I feel like you have a lot of things to say. We're going to pull from this deck. Tell me more about this. This one. Okay. And then this one. You have a lot of things to say. Some of you might be like, I don't know what that is. Well, it'll come to you. Okay. But there's a purpose for you allowing your tribe in. Okay. There's a purpose for the Akashic field being here. Clearing the way. Clearing this really dense, toxic energy for the Akashic field to flow in your life. You have some very powerful and profound things to say, to bring through. And this past life, really, you can pull the strength from this past life into this life now to help you get the clarity, to help you get the drive and the ambition and the strength to overcome and realize your dreams. We have inner earth, base chakra, strength and security, laying foundations. Laying foundations is hard. It's extremely difficult. But I feel like that's what you and this tribe is doing, will do, are doing. And you guys are doing things that are revolutionary. Some of you guys work with this tribe energy in dream time, in astral, in magical spaces, okay? We have the divine matrix, interconnectedness, synchronicity, God incidences. Yeah, you're definitely connected to these people, these energies, okay? And I feel like you're working with them probably when you sleep. Some of you guys may wake up in the middle of this work and go back to sleep and do it some more. You may wake up kind of tired sometimes as well. We have Seraphim's Gateway, voice activation, angelic attunement, divine support. And then we have crown chakra upgrade, divine connection, holy experiences, miraculous energy. So there's more going on here at a very high vibe energy, okay? And I feel like you know this. And the people that you work with, like in spirit, are meant to come to you in person. They're meant to manifest in your life, okay? To help you begin to manifest some of this work into the world. It's a revolutionary act. These are revolutionary ideas. These are healing. These are thought-provoking. There's a lot of like Uranus energy here, very strong. Uranus energy here, Neptune energy, Saturn energy, the energy of change, the energy of uplifting and commanding. It's very profound, and it's intense. It's healed. My heart chakra feels healed. It feels open. It feels powerful. We have guidance. And I feel like you are divinely guided, and the people who are coming to you are divinely guided to you. And you'll know. Because I feel like you knew them in the past life. That this tribe of people, you knew them. And you'll feel it. You'll feel this energy of, I knew you before. I knew you before. Absolutely. They'll feel so familiar. This one right here. We have motivation, Aries. We have kingdom, Leo, beautiful. And we have justice, Virgo. And that is the focus here. To bring justice. Motivated to bring justice. Divinely guided to bring justice into the world. To manifest this justice. Because that is your call. Now, Carrie, she really believed she was bringing justice when she did what she did at the prom. Okay, she really believed that. Her hand of justice was very, very heavy, okay? It feels like nemesis. I feel like this hand of justice is uplifting. It's more of an uplifting hand of justice that's coming through. So it feels really beautiful, and it feels like something that will help you. It's like it comes in to help you first, and then it flowers. And I think that's important that you know that. Justice is coming for you. You're going to have some justice in your own personal life. And then you'll see how that energy flows into other things that you want to do. Okay, that's what I received for you. I really enjoyed doing this reading. I hope you enjoyed it too. If you did, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'd love to have you as a member of my tribe. And if you'd like to see more readings like this one, give me a thumbs up. And I will see you beautiful, magical baddies on the other side. Bye, guys. Hey, group 3, all of you that selected The Exorcist. This is going to be your reading all about your most revolutionary past life. Okay, so keep in mind this is a general reading. It's a general session. So just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. All right, so let's get into it and see the cards that came out for you. We have Child Magical. Okay. King. All right. Goddess. Wow. Okay. All right. What are these cards? You got quite a few of these cards. We have trees, knighthood, mother, medicine man or woman, and spouse. Hope you guys can see those. Let's see. We have lily, moon, cross, tree again. I'll put it right here. What is this? Tower. No reversals. And we have the siren. Okay. That was a lot of little cards there. We have savior and defeat. Move those a little bit this way. See them better. Okay. And we have dichotomy. Interesting energy. We have the king of earth. We have fortune and fame over self-made individual. And we have the woods, which is Blair Witch. Put you right here. Okay, I think you guys can see. There we go, that's a little better. Okay, so yeah, this is big energy. Okay, big energy. First of all, there's like fame energy here. Okay, I feel like you were well known, but I feel the self-made too. Okay, self-made too. We have Lily here, so I can't help but think of Lilith here as well. Okay, we have goddess energy, and I'm feeling several things with this group, so it's really important that you use your own discernment. Okay. I feel a feminine energy that is very attractive. Okay, super attractive. All right. And very connected to like the goddess. Okay, it may be a dark goddess here. There's something special about trees. It may be a grove of worship or something like that. Okay, there's several goddesses who are aligned with trees and groves. Okay, could be Diana as well. And I'm seeing like the 20s and the 30s. So this could be like a revival, or an order or a coven, as well. I'm seeing like 20s, 30s, 50s, 60s. And what I'm hearing is that this life where you were doing this, you were actually pulling from a different past life where you were a high priestess, who was in service to the goddess, and you directly communed with her. You were an oracle, okay? And so you were pulling that energy into this past life, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, okay? And, you know, we have some witch energy here, dealing with light and dark energy. Extremely powerful. I feel like you were probably born very powerful, very dynamic, okay? I feel like there is some, it's almost like there's some fear of you as well. Like people feared you. There were some people who feared you a great deal. And it was revolutionary what you did, because really you should have been afraid of other people because of what you were doing. Because you were doing these, it feels like occultic things, all right? And you were also well known. Not necessarily well known for this thing, okay? I feel like there's also a masculine energy that may have been involved. This could be separate, like a separate person. Could be connected as well, but could be that instead of being a feminine energy, you're a masculine energy. Okay, so just read it as it is, magical, but aligned with dark feminine energy, perhaps in a brotherhood or a cult of some kind. But you were well known. Okay, these are well known people. And I don't often I don't often say things like that, So I feel like you were well known, um, but people didn't know you for the occult work that you did. So your revolutionary act in this life is that a lot of you people would never have known that you were into these things or did these things. Okay. And you used your abilities to get ahead and you kept it on the low. And it's like you kept the flame alive. For many of you, you had contacts in this kind of occultic world. Um, Many of you were healers. You were high people in the order or society or whatever. It's different for different people, okay? And different levels of being well known. Some of you were mega well known, and some of you were minor well known, and it just depends, okay? All right. And the thing is that within this hidden space, you did amazing things because you're super magical. And if people only knew the revolutionary acts that you did, they would be astounded. Some of you used your abilities to write amazing things that changed, like, the face of society. Um, some of you did products or some kind of creative thing that inspired new thought, like, and you used your abilities to bring it through. Um, and people never would never know. And to this day, they don't know. Now, for some of you, there may be a suspicion, okay? But ultimately, it was probably never solidified for you, especially back in like the 20s, maybe 30s. It was definitely like into the 40s. It was definitely like maybe, but no. And some of you had alternative lifestyles that were hidden as well. Some of you were involved in like lavender marriages and things like that back in the day. And it made it somewhat easier for you to also do these alternative practices that helped you and helped others, because you definitely were a healer and a giver. Um, and for some of you, you were extremely well known. And I feel like you used the love and admiration of people to empower your work. And you tried to do good things with it. But the truth is that if they knew what you did, they would think this. They would think that you were negative in some way. So you never wanted people to know what you were doing because you didn't want them to think badly of you, because they didn't at the time, they would never understand. I'm hearing they would never understand me. Never. And in this life, a lot of you may be magical, okay? Or you may be drawn to magical things. And it's because back in the day, you were very powerful, okay? And that power still is within you. And you're being called to tap into that. Now, some of you have tapped into it, but you don't realize how powerful you are. You still haven't tapped completely into it, okay? And you're meant to know the power of light and dark. You're meant to know the balance. You're meant to experience it and to understand the chaos of nature. You're very powerful, okay? Let's pull some cards here. Tell me more about my group 3. Tell me more about my group 3. Tell me more. Tell me more. Yeah, some of you were very well known. Very, very well known. Some of you were extremely intelligent, and your intelligence was threatening. It threatened people. And you already knew that. You already knew that you weren't supposed to be smart. You were just supposed to look good and say your lines. And that hurt. See if you can see that there's some nudity on some of these. So we have the Two of Swords. I feel like in this past life, you were always trying to figure out how to overcome this. The Page of Cups. You were always trying to figure out how can I overcome this? How can I deal with the limitations in this life? Because although you may have been well known and there may be some money here, the limitations were, it was like you were having to live another life, the life they told you to live. And it was very depressing with the Five of Cups here. So you had to lean into your magic. You had to lean into your practice. And sometimes that just wasn't enough. So you sought comfort in marriage, okay? In motherhood, parenthood, all right? Which made it hard to maintain your image. So you had to work on your image and take space from your spouse, who may have been famous as well or well known. Tell me more about this. There's so much regret here. I can't get the cards. The cards that fell off the table are not mine. We have the Page of Wands. I feel like in this lifetime, inspiration dwindled. I feel like you just stopped being inspired because your life did not reflect your truth. For those of you who had children, I feel like this sounds harsh, and I don't mean it harsh, but you were not fulfilled by having children. It did not fulfill you because you were still so limited creatively. You were still so limited in the things that you could do. You still felt the limitation. So although the children were wonderful and you loved them, if you had them, not all of you did. Even though you loved your spouse, I have to say your partnership was doomed to fail because of the stress of the situation. Some of you in lavender marriages, though, it lasted a long time. And the reason why it failed was because of some horrible, I don't even want to say, it's so bad. Some horrible, some gossip. So it feels like there's tragedy here. There's just a lot of you're just not inspired anymore. The light dims. And it's hard to kind of keep going here. And we have the sun. The sun here. So inspiration returns. And it feels like there's a cause. Tell me about the cause. The Ten of Pentacles. It feels like let me pull from the Akashic. It feels like soul inspiration. It feels like magical inspiration. It's like realizing that the construct, the limitations of your life were actually there because you had the opportunity to fulfill yourself in other ways. And you chose something else. It's like you made your mind up. You chose something else. And I feel like Lily here is peeking out to me. And I feel like you may have chose to go the route of the dark goddess. Even though the sun is here, you chose the route of your own inner light and inner purpose. I feel like some of you may have retired or moved back from whatever you were doing, and you sought out this other life. And you were perfectly fine with it. We have the wishes fulfilled. And it gave you the life that you wanted. The initiation of Saint Germain. Some of you may have moved into like a cottage, like I'm seeing out in the woods. I'm seeing homes kind of away from people. So you could do what you wanted to do. I think your inspiration for your job, for what you did, dwindled. You saw that you could no longer work against the system, and so you decided to work in another way. And you took all this energy and you put it into your practice, to your spirituality. And I think that is when you found fulfillment in your family and your relationships. You learned to balance your energy. And for you, balancing your energy meant being in spirit, being in love, being in your highest vibration, and no longer having to deal with the restriction. You gave yourself freedom from like a contract, freedom from being forced to do things against your will. Because some of you guys, I'm cueing in on this goddess card, and I feel like there was a lot of inappropriate relationships that you were forced to have to get where you were. And it just was a fact. It was a fact. It was expected. And in different places, and it may not be for all of you, but it feels like part of that is what dimmed your light and made you like, this is not what I want to do. And part of this was the healing of your heart chakra, the healing of your soul, the healing of your sense of self. We have the scribe. I feel like in this life, this life matters to this life because you are powerful. Okay, you're very, very powerful, and you're meant to bring that power forward. Okay, this goddess king energy, this magical energy, and manifest the highest vibration of your life in this life. Okay, some of you guys are meant to be seen. It's right here. Okay, you're meant to be seen. By how many people? I don't know. Maybe 1, maybe 12, maybe 12,000. I don't know. The scribe tells me you're meant to create something, a product, a script, a poem, a piece of art. You could be, write a symphony. It's different for different ones of you, okay? But there's something you're meant to put out in the world, and it's deeply connected and rooted in your craft or your spirituality or your chanting or your relationship to your ancestors or your relationship to whatever, your divinity, whatever it is, okay? And you're meant to pull upon this past life because you are extremely creative, and your frustration in this past life was that you were limited so much that you put your creativity into your craft, into your spirituality. Some of you became spiritual artists, is what you did. You took your creativity and you put it into your spirituality, and you started doing spiritual art and things like that, okay? Some of you begin to channel in that lifetime, and a lot of people did not know, okay, because it was a secret, secret, secret. Okay, some of you guys conducted seances and things like that. There's just different things that you did. But you were happy. Some of you became herbalists, and you created lotions and things like that. but you were happy. And I feel like the goal in this life is to be happy. A revolutionary act in this time is to be happy. But more than that is to highly align with your highest timeline of happiness, wishes fulfilled, and you being deeply connected to the source of your magical power, to the source of you, and bringing that forward and being bold in your ability to allow yourself to be seen for the truth of who you are and the strength of who you are. Because it's all here. And perhaps if there are areas of your life where you really should be feeling fulfillment, but you're not, maybe you're looking in the wrong area. Maybe there is an area of your life that you're neglecting, and it may be here on the table. Some of you guys are very magnetic, and there's a denial of that. And it's important that you open up to that, okay, and allow the energies to flow. Allow your goodness to flow. All we hear is negative, negative, negative shit, okay? We hear it every day. We're scared to death every single day by what's going on in the world. And we hear how we don't fit in, how we don't look like we're supposed to, how, we're aging, or, we're too this, we're too that, we're too tall, we're too short, we're too wide, we're too small, we're too hairy, we're too bald. It's time to fuck it. All that shit. Fuck that shit. We're human beings. We are imperfect. And I feel that here. I feel that energy of just like radical self-acceptance and coming through so purely you in this magical way and pulling powerful energy through and allowing whatever it is you're supposed to bring through to come through. It's beautiful because you being authentically you is so fucking powerful. It triggers other people, and sometimes people get mad. And they might get mad at you. People get mad at me. And I don't, I don't take it personally, because whatever they got mad about is probably what they need to be triggered about to help them grow. Because you help people grow. That's what you do. You're a healer. And sometimes healing looks really sweet and nice, and sometimes healing looks like people are pissed off at you. How dare you say that to me? I don't know what you're talking about. Well, that didn't resonate. Are you sure? Are you sure you didn't get triggered? They probably did. It's okay. We all get triggered. I've been triggered by readers. I've been triggered by people, I meet in the grocery store. We all have had those weird experiences. You are one of those people that give weird experiences. You're very powerful. And you're meant to feel that in this life. And you're meant to bring things forward into this life. Experiences, art, creativity, create a business, create something. So it can be seen by other people. What that is so individual. It's so unique to you that I could sit here and list off a lot of things. But first, you got to get deep into yourself and bring this power forward. And you do it with intention. You can get all the candles and oils and all that shit. You can do that, but you don't have to. You can just sit with yourself. Sit with yourself. Get quiet. Have the intention of connecting to this powerful energy. Start visualizing yourself, connecting to it, to bring it through. Be bold about it. And then don't doubt it. If you doubt it, it don't work. You cannot doubt your magic. If you doubt your magic, that shit ain't going to work. Okay? You got to go all the way in. If you're not going to go all the way in, do not waste your time. Okay? And when it starts popping, claim it. Yep, that's my magic. It's not coincidence. Nope, it's my magic. That's how you grow. That's how your strength grows. And that's how weird shit starts to happen. Weird good stuff, not the bad stuff, okay? And I feel like with the goddess and the king here, there is something about you that you need to accept, like how attractive you are, how you do have an air of leadership about you. And you may be like, I don't want to be a leader. Well, a lot of leaders don't want to be leaders, but there's nobody else. You may have Leo energy here. Leos, people are always like, Leos are leaders. No, Leos don't want to be leaders, but many times there's nobody else. And everybody looks at Leo like, are you going to do it? And then they're like, well, nobody else? Nobody else? Well, guess I will. I guess I will. I guess I'm the leader now. Well, okay. Well, where are we going? What are we doing? What am I the leader of? Because Leo knows that they can't lead without good people. Leo knows a good leader has good co-leaders, you know? But you may be a reluctant leader, and that's okay. That's valid. It's valid to be a reluctant leader. But you just may have that energy, but there's some healing to do. This past life here is very powerful, and I highly encourage you to kind of like explore this space more because I feel like there's a lot of gifts here. There's so many gifts here for you. All right, group 3, that's what I received for you. I hope this was a helpful reading. I really enjoyed doing this reading for you. I hope you enjoyed it too. If you did, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I would love to have you as a member of my tribe. That would be really wonderful. And if you'd like to see more readings like this one, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you beautiful, magical baddies on the other side. Bye, guys.